Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you the differences between the Huion KAMVAS 16 and the Huion KAMVAS Pro 16 pen display. These are the two 15.6-inch pen displays Huion has released mid-2019. By the way, if you want to save some time, you can actually check out the text review that I have already written on my blog. The pros and cons list are right at the bottom, and the content in the text review is exactly the same as what you're about to watch in this video. At the time of this review, the Huion KAMVAS Pro 16 is US $469 and the Huion KAMVAS 16 is $379. So this is $90 more compared to that. And after I showed you the differences, you can decide for yourself whether or not this is worth the extra $90. Out of the box, the colors look alright. I did color calibrate both screens and I measured 81% sRGB support on the KAMVAS 16 and 96% sRGB support on the KAMVAS Pro 16. So this screen is more color accurate, and also this screen is slightly brighter. I measured about 180 nits. This is 150 nits. So both brightness, they are around laptop territory, but this is a bit brighter, slightly brighter. Let me show you the anti-glare. Now both screens, they are matte surface screens. So both screens have anti-glare coating, and this is how aggressive the anti-glare coating is. On the KAMVAS 16, you can see the white haze that is created by the coating almost blocks out the content that is shown on the screen. Now with the KAMVAS Pro 16, you can still see the content even though there is white haze. The contrast is slightly better. Now whether or not this anti-glare is going to affect your work really depends on the lighting conditions in your environment. So right now I have the screens pointing to my window. If I have the screens pointing to the side where there's no light facing the screens, then both screens, they will look alright. The physical size of these two pen displays, they are pretty similar. The design for the KAMVAS Pro 16, it's all black, and here we have black and silver body. Surprisingly, the KAMVAS Pro 16, it actually has less physical shortcut buttons compared to the KAMVAS non-Pro. So here we have 6 physical shortcut buttons. This is for power and this is for changing the display settings, and there is a touch strip here that you can use to change brush sizes, scroll up and down. All these buttons, they are customizable, same as the customizable buttons here. But here we have 14 physical shortcut buttons. There are 7 here. There is this 5 buttons here arranged in a wheel. 2 buttons, so 7 and 7 here. And there is also a touch strip here that you can use to scroll or zoom, customizable as well. Both displays are very thin, almost as thin as the thinnest laptops you can find out there in the market. Now these are not touch screens, so you cannot use any finger gestures on them. Both displays need to be powered by an external power source. So for example, here we have one cable that comes out from the pen display. It will split into 3. One will be the USB that goes to your computer, one will be the power that goes to the wall, and the last one will be the HDMI, full-size HDMI that goes to the computer as well. What this means is, for example, if you are using the pen display with your laptop could be running on battery, but you need to find a wall power outlet for the pen display. Another difference between the screen is on the Pro screen, this is a laminated display, which means there is no gap between the glass surface and the actual IPS panel beneath. Right now I'm using the Pro display. You may notice a gap between the pen tip and the cursor, but that's because my camera is pointing at an angle, so the gap is more obvious here. When actually drawing on the screen, you are not going to see that gap, and when drawing, you're going to feel like the lines, they are appearing directly on the screen. So having a laminated screen to draw on, it's really satisfying. Both displays use the same pen that do not use any battery, so you don't need to charge the pens. And they both support slightly over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. And there is also tilt sensitivity. In terms of sensitivity when drawing, I mean, the lines, they always come out the way I expect them, and when drawing tapered lines like this, they always taper very smoothly, which is nice. As for the 16 non-pro display that I'm using right now, there is a tiny gap between the glass surface and the LCD beneath. But the difference between this and the laminated display on the 16 Pro, it's not that significant. You may notice the difference if you compare them side by side, but if you're just drawing on a screen like this, if you have nothing to compare against, this is still a very nice screen to draw with. Right now my camera is pointing at the screen at an angle, so you can also see the gap between the pen tip and the cursor. Now, pay attention to the reflection of the pen in the screen. Now, the anti-glare coating here, it does have some reflective characteristics, so you can see the reflection of the pen. On the Pro 16, notice there is almost no reflection. That's because this screen is brighter and the anti-glare coating is not that aggressive. Another difference I noticed is after working on both pen displays for a few hours, the heat that is produced on the Pro 16, the heat is produced around this area, about the size of my 3 fingers, which is a pretty small area. On the 16 non-Pro, the heat is produced around this area, the size of my palm. So it's quite a big area. It's not that hot. In terms of how warm it is, it's comparable to the heat that is produced by typical LCD monitors. Of course, it would be great if the screen doesn't produce any heat at all. The technical drawing capabilities of both pen displays, it's excellent. Line quality is fantastic. They are very responsive. Pressure sensitivity and tilt sensitivity works really well. I have tested both pen displays on Windows and Mac and used various drawing apps, and all those apps, they perform very well, except for Clip Studio Paint. With KAMVAS 16 non-Pro, it has line taper issue, but other than that, all those apps, Photoshop, Medibank Paint Pro, Krita, they all work fantastic. So in terms of drawing ability, these two pen displays, they perform really well. So the overall drawing experience to me really comes down to the quality of the screen. So in this case here, you can see with the 16 non-Pro, you can see the reflection, the anti-glare coating is quite aggressive, and that affects the color. And also the brightness here, it's not as bright compared to the Pro version. So because of that, the experience on the Pro, it's better compared to the non-Pro, even though when it comes to the technical aspect of drawing, they are pretty similar. So those are the differences between the KAMVAS 16 and the KAMVAS Pro 16. If you have more budget, I do recommend you get the Pro 16 for the better screen. If you have limited budget, you can go with the KAMVAS 16. You can still expect the same drawing performance. Now I have detailed reviews for both pen displays. I'll put the links in the video description below so you can check out how good they are when it really comes to drawing with the various drawing apps. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!